Welcome back to the Church of Atheism podcast. This is going to be our third and final episode of this mini-series of this Questions Atheists Can't Answer series. So far, we've answered pretty much all but a few of them, so I'm going to have to call bullshit already. But there's a few more questions to answer. Let's get to them. No more intro. Let's just get to the questions. 32. Where did everything come from if there is no God?
Oh, yeah. See, that was the one question that I thought was a good question. Yeah, who the fuck knows?
Right.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Nowhere in that admission of I'm not really sure doesn't mean God must have done it.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
My answer, I said, it was just too long to make in one podcast. Like, even if it would take us way too long to do that episode if it was just the only subject. Let alone having 16 questions after this to go. But I recommend, I just finished reading, just finished it. I read it like a year ago. A Universe from Nothing. Why There Is Something Rather Than Nothing by Lawrence Krauss. It explains at least the theories and theories are stronger than hypotheses.
Yeah.
The theory of, what did happen in the Big Bang and what happened moments before, what happens moments after, all this goes away. It's a really interesting book, and I'll link it to the website on this page. But yeah, it's interesting. But there's no way I can answer that question and fucking 5 podcasts, let alone multiple choice one.
Yeah, you could read about the singularity and stuff like that if you really want to get into it. If you want to, you can just, that's some deep physics talk that I could barely understand, let alone like try and verbalize.
Yeah. So, good question though.
Very, very.
I don't know why you chose to put it, there instead of like number 1 or number 2.
Yeah, I probably should have started off with that.
Yeah. Probably your best one so far.
Yeah.
So number 33, if there is no God, then why do we have laws that govern us, such as speed limits?
Yeah.
Kind of makes its own sense, right? There is no God, so we have to limit ourselves.
Yeah. We don't even have to have a joke answer for that.
Nope.
We actually just covered that like 3 or 4 questions ago. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, here's a good one. Because let's see, 35. Why do we not act like monkeys if it is true that we came from monkeys?
Oh, that's a great question.
Oh wait, I think I skipped one. My bad. All right, we'll flip them. This is actually number 35. I skipped number 34. So we'll come back to 34.
Why do we not act?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
God, that's a fucking stupid question.
Yeah. And my answer was because we evolved out of that shit. That's literally what evolution is.
Yeah. Because we don't have to.
Yeah. Because we have a society that communicates with words and can verbalize its own thoughts, and monkeys can't.
Yeah, and unfortunately, if I throw shit at somebody else, it's considered severe mental illness, and I get put away for that. I don't think I want to act like a monkey. I do.
Going back to the last question we just had, we have to govern ourselves.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we're monkeys.
Yeah.
Stupid fucking question. All right. All right, so go back to number 34. Number 34, do you know where you're going when you die?
Yeah, Valhalla.
Yeah.
Endless war.
Yep. We've been over this.
'Cause as I was saying before the show, war is all I know.
It's true.
My life. As a proud Viking Norseman.
Is that why you like Minnesota so much?
Yeah. Which
Yeah.
I'm not. I do not think I have Norse ancestry, but I was in a previous life. No, I was like thinking the other day, it's like people who like believe in past lives. Everybody was always like some sort of fierce warrior. It's like, no, you were a bug.
Yeah.
You were a bug or a bacteria. Mathematically, you were definitely not a human, let alone a warrior.
No. No, it's very safe to say.
Yeah, in fact, mathematically, if you were a human, you died at birth.
So congratulations,
Yeah.
fucking warrior.
Being stillborn is all I know.
Yep. Just when I thought I had something to go with, I was like, nope. There's nothing. I can't follow that one up. I'm probably going to be cremated, I think. I haven't really officially decided 100%.
I want to be a marionette.
Yeah?
Yeah, because then, like, I could still be in, like, a cemetery or something, but then, like, I don't know, the kids could just go and, like, pull the strings and make me do silly fucking dance moves and shit, like, on their way home from school. That way, I'm, like, not polluting the ground.
Great.
You're spending money on strings, so you don't, like, my family doesn't have to pay for some stupid casket and
Right.
gravestone, because that stuff's a scam, really.
Yeah, it really is.
Oh, that's something we should do an episode about, is the ridiculous scam it is to die.
You cut out for all of that until die. Yeah, it is, though. We should do an episode. What? It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, like funeral costs are insane. It's so dumb. Like they should just have a pit, and they should just throw everybody in the pit. Like it. Why not? There's no point in having like a $7,000 like casket and tombstone. It's so weird. It's weird. It's creepy, I think.
Like it's got to go over here because it can face the sun. It's 9 months out of the year.
Yeah.
He's dead.
Yeah.
Let's see. Where was I? Oh, right. Where are we going when we die?
Yeah.
All right. So number 36, because I already did 35. Number 36. Why do we display the 10 Commandments in the courtroom if you say the Bible is not real?
Using the Bible is not real. Again, they do swear on the Bible. That happens.
Yeah. Which I still don't understand how that's a
thing. That really shouldn't. Like it is, I guess, technically a violation of the separation of church and state.
I wonder if you got accused of something like say somewhat minor, like theft. Did you argue your point that it was an unlawful courtroom?
I don't know.
Like you couldn't get off murder charges, I don't think.
I don't know. If you had a good enough lawyer,
maybe
you find ways to waste the court's time to the point where they'll just throw it out.
Yeah.
Like that sort of thing happens all the time. Probably not. Yeah, you're right. Probably not like on a felony, but like.
Yeah, I wonder if you like a small court. I wonder how far you can take it.
Yeah, I always wonder stuff like.
Well, I was just thinking, why that happens is because it typically happens in conservative states and towns, And as we all know, the religious right really loves to cherry pick both Bible verses and our Constitution. So that makes sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. This is number 37. The same fucking question you've already asked, you piece of shit. Just in case you're listening. Why should it be wrong to rape if God is not real?
That's written by someone who really wants to rape.
Yeah. Like, you've mentioned rape twice. Remember Blazing Saddles? Where he's like, what do you do? Rape, cattle, bank robbery, and rape. You said rape twice. I like rape. Like, that's this guy.
He's just looking for whatever religion lets him rape the most, clearly.
Yeah, he's looking for any loophole.
Yeah, just any loophole.
Just please have a good answer for this one, please.
Yeah. Please just tell me what I want to hear.
So I don't have anything for you, buddy.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. A couple of these I had like notes written about, and then I kind of like worded them differently from the notes, and then like try to go over and make better notes. This one, literally all I had was, I feel like my brain is getting raped by these questions.
Yeah.
Number 38. Now I'm like, I want to get through these as fast as possible, man. I've had enough.
Yeah.
Number 38. Why is The Passion of the Christ very high on the box office?
Because I've had these are questions atheists can't answer.
Yeah. The only reason we can't answer them right now is because you're breaking up again.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might affect things.
Yeah.
See, that one, I don't remember reading that question, so that one, I kind of, wasn't.
Helped you, huh?
Yeah, actually, I believe that was R-rated. So, well, because it's a Christian movie, and Christianity has a built-in audience. That's why Christian rock makes a lot of money.
Shitload. Like, way more than it needs to be.
Yeah. Because it's
fucking terrible.
Yeah. Because it's about, the crucifixion. So, of course, there's going to be youth groups that are going to go see. There's legitimate reasons that aren't funny. This is
right,
stupid.
Exactly.
That's a really dumb question. There's like, if you want to get into like the movie industry and aspects of it, it's not going to make for a funny, entertaining answer, but there is one.
Fucking jackass.
Yeah. It had a high budget. Mel Gibson directed and produced it, and
I don't know how he feels about religion.
That was before. Yeah, that was before he made his feelings truly known. So that was when he was still very known and respected for his work.
I mean, yeah, it has the cult like following of religion mixed with Mel Gibson before that happened.
Yeah. It's got the cult-like following of religion mixed with the cult-like following of Lethal Weapon, which is a very good combination. It's going to make for
exactly
a high box office.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So take that, 38.
Also, I don't think it didn't have nudity, and it was not even in English, so it didn't have swear words, which. That's like that's really the funniest thing about like the success of that movie is because like for some reason that's what like conservatives have a problem with. No nudity and foul language are the worst things possible, but that movie was so violent and graphic.
Oh my god, it was.
I actually never watched the movie itself, but I did watch like a compilation of just the most violent scenes. And, oh boy, I was actually kind of shocked.
Yeah. I went to it in the theaters. That was back when I was on my way out of religion, but I really wanted to try to stay in religion. You know that little phase? It's like I didn't know what was life gonna be like as an atheist. You know what I mean?
Right.
I thought it meant something.
Yeah, yeah.
Or like it was gonna change me in some way, shape, or form. So like even though I knew like there's no God, I was still trying really hard to believe because I didn't want to be on the outside. You
Right.
know what I mean? So I went to that with my at the time girlfriend, and yeah, it was just like brutal.
Yeah.
Like, like I get it why they made it that way, but at the same time, Jesus, like I get it.
Yeah, the South Park episode about that was really good. About how like people saw it and then they're like, "Wow, maybe we should go to church." I feel so bad for Jesus after that.
Yeah, it's like you dummies.
Yeah, yeah.
I really need to get back into South Park. Like, I've never been against it. I just haven't had enough time to like watch it.
Yeah, I missed the last one, I think, but the new season has been just phenomenal.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to start binging from the new season on. Just like
Hmm.
a quick before I go to bed type thing. Watch 4 episodes.
The new season and the last season were great. The one before that was still good, but like I was watching an interview with Matt Stone and Trey Parker where they talked about that, and there was it was weird because like they made the season actually just one story line,
Right.
like one kind of running together story, and
Interesting.
as a result, and like pretty much like a lot of it had to do with the election,
Right.
and even they actually like admitted that they didn't think Donald Trump was going to win. So they ended up having to basically scrap like the kind of they had an ending for the season planned out, and they had to end up scrapping that because they didn't think Trump was going to win. So like what they had planned out was yeah. So they admitted that that was not one of their best ones because they didn't think that was going to happen.
Right. Jesus.
They were talking about how like well because they would do they've done episodes about the election that would air like on election night or the night after, and they would predict it
Yeah.
accurately, but they're like we went to, we consulted a lot of Vegas odds makers, and then I think it was Trey Parker who was like actually took like statistics or something in college. I knew that was not a reliable idea, but but we did it anyway.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
It's like Crow.
Yeah.
I calculated the odds of this succeeding and the fact that I'm doing something incredibly stupid, and I went ahead and did it anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway.
It was fucking brutal. The Passion of the Christ. And I think that's actually why it got even better ratings. Because you're like, oh my god, I'm going to go see this shit again.
Yeah.
Beat the piss out of this poor guy. This poor character over here. Alright, so here's another good one. We're going to get stumped on. How can America not be a Christian nation if there are way more churches and mosques? Yeah. Answer me that. Again, it goes back to the same fucking thing as earlier. Just the numbers don't mean it's true.
Yeah.
Your religion has a following, so therefore, it's going to keep growing, most likely, until people start going, oh, this is stupid.
Yeah, and if you really... Well, okay, for one thing, it is not a Christian nation because it was, the pretty much foundation of the country was on religious freedom.
Yeah.
That's why. And then if you really want to get divisive about it, which it sounds like this guy does, it wouldn't be like even a Christian nation because like the Protestant church wanted to separate from like the Church of England or the Catholic Church. Or wait, how'd that start?
I'm terrible with history.
Yeah, no.
I'm not gonna lie. Like I know events and like what happened, and, like what it meant, but as far as like the individual like storylines, like, I don't fucking know.
Yeah, these questions are starting to just make my brain hurt.
Yeah.
We're almost there, though.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not a Christian nation. As much as they want to believe it is, it's not. You're allowed to be a Christian in this nation, but you don't have to be.
I was going to say that the Christians were simply here before the Muslims, but that if you want to just say that, there were hundreds of religions here among the indigenous people.
Yeah, I guess the reason you could say that it's the most popular is because you fucking killed off the religion that was here before you.
That's why, like, one point I like to make is, like, when people are talking about Mexicans and shit, like, well, if you live in this country, you should speak English. It's like, well, then you should speak, like, fucking Algonquin or Cherokee or any of the dozens and dozens of languages, dumbass.
Yep. It drives me nuts.
Yeah.
And again, it's usually people who can't speak the language themselves.
Yeah, typically, yeah.
Like this guy trying to ask questions here.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. America first. Grammar second.
Yeah, grammar
second. Alright, so number 40 goes back. Again, we've answered the same type of question before. How is the Bible not real if it's the most popular book read by man? Because it's 2,000 years old. People read it because it's dude, people read it in their little cult buildings every Sunday. It doesn't mean it's real.
Yeah. Once again, and it's not funny anymore. The Bible's real. Like, learn your grammar.
Right.
It exists. And also, it's free half the time. I have so many Bibles, I don't know where they all came from.
People just give them to you.
I swear to God they do. Like, people will go to your door and just give you Bibles. You can take them from hotel rooms. Like, you could go to church, they'll just give them to you.
Yeah.
That's probably... Well, yeah, that's actually a huge reason why it's the #1 selling book in America. It's in almost every hotel room ever in the entire country.
Yeah, if they did that to Harry Potter. Harry Potter was the #1 selling book of all time.
Yeah.
Still wouldn't make Harry Potter true.
Exactly.
Fucking assholes. All right. Here's one. How did the moon form?
That's serious.
It. Yeah.
They're saying atheists can't answer that.
No. How did the moon form? Number 41.
Well, there was too much cheese on Earth, and we had to put it somewhere.
Yep. Number 42. This goes back to the Big Bang question that we're not 100% sure exactly how the moon got there. There's a few theories. One of them is the capture theory, that the moon was just floating by itself when it happened to reach into Earth's gravity, which back when planets were floating all over the place in a small relative space, that happened a lot. That's why, like, Saturn has so many moons and Jupiter have so many moons, because their gravity picked them off. There's also the accretion theory, that it was created along with the Earth at its formation. So, like, wherever the Earth was, there was also a force forming another thing, and that became the moon.
That's the one I think I've heard the most. That and, like, as asteroids pummeled the Earth, like the moon's gravity caught a lot of debris,
yep.
made it bigger.
And that's the actual giant impact theory. The
Yeah.
moon was formed during an impact with Earth. They believe that a small planet like Mars collided with Earth at one point, and the moon is actually part of that collision. Then, as debris and shit flew off, the moon collected more and more and more, and there it is.
Yep, that's
So
actually that makes sense. So
it's their only theories, but they're scientific theories. Um, but again, the lack of knowing 100% sure doesn't mean God. Like, can you imagine if we did that with everything Jesus couldn't answer?
mhm.
Well, that must mean he's fake.
Yeah.
Like, ask real questions here, you know?
Well, it's just imagine if everybody did that with everything.
Right.
Like I'm looking at this table. I don't know exactly how it was made, but like clearly it was made.
Right.
Like you know what I mean? Imagine just like every inanimate object I see. Like I don't know how it was made, so that means nobody does.
Right.
Like I can't trust that somebody smarter than me might know what they're talking about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know who made this chair. It must have been Jesus.
Yeah. And I'm not. That doesn't mean that you have to believe everything every scientist says, but
Right. Right.
do some research and I don't know. It's just a weird a distrust of science. Like that's
Yeah.
that's
And it's so weird to me that questions like this can exist on the internet.
yeah.
Like, you were on the internet. Why don't you just look for the answer?
I think I think a lot of it also has to do with like it is kind of hard. I mean, there's a lot of good resources out there that like kind of simplify things to where you can understand it, but those may be hard to find. And then like there's just a lot of resources that are kind of hard to understand that it becomes overwhelming, and then people just don't even want to try to begin to understand it. You know what I
That
mean?
could
Like,
be. Yeah.
I think that might also have a lot to do with it. Maybe I don't know.
I kind of hope so, because at least that's an out.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like, I would prefer that we're not just complete idiots on this planet, but
yeah.
that would make sense. You know,
Mhm.
if something's too technical and you don't understand it, and then you go somewhere else for another source, and it's too technical, I can see that being, let me just post it and see if someone can answer it for me.
Yeah.
But like, still ironic. Did you know that famous scientists like Newton, Sir Richard Owen, Einstein, Galileo, and Copernicus were creationists?
I did not know that, and that's probably not true. And you know what? Like some of them, a lot of famous scientists like them were probably creationists publicly because they would have been either executed by the church or exiled, like Galileo was.
Right.
Yeah. So
And it's the same reason that one in, we've had this discussion before. Where like we don't really know the exact percent of atheists per capita, but like you would imagine it's like one in, I don't know, even if it was 1 in 20, let's just say 5%. There is not 5% atheists represented in Congress right now.
Yeah.
Because if they come out as atheists, they're losing a shit ton of votes, and they're not going to win the election.
Oh yeah, that'd be political suicide.
So of course they're not going to admit it.
No.
So,
especially the farther back you go, like
right,
it could have been literal suicide to admit that you're atheist. Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
it would have been heresy, which would have been punishable by death.
Right. You wouldn't be losing your vote, it's losing your life.
Yeah.
So maybe that had something to do with it. I don't know.
I think that in a lot of cases that probably had a lot to do with it in certain places and certain times, and that's not to
Yeah.
say that maybe some of them probably could have been creationists. I know
It might have been. I think it was. I always get them backwards, but well, I think it was Copernicus who tried to argue that God is more powerful than the church imagined. That God not only made our solar system, but He made the entire universe, and He was trying to prove it.
Mm-hmm.
But because it wasn't exactly what the Bible said, it was blasphemy.
Hmm.
Like so many sciences, especially nowadays, like kind of like step into the religious territory where they kind of disprove things. But I think it was Copernicus who wanted to make um, give credit to God for all the universe while showing,
Interesting.
but because it showed the Earth wasn't that Earth wasn't the center of the universe, it was blasphemy.
Wow, that's fascinating.
I could be wrong on who it was. I'm 90% sure it's Copernicus. So if I'm wrong, please let me know.
Yeah, I might be wrong about the Galileo thing. I think it was him that was basically under. Was it him that was under house arrest for
Pretty sure.
the Earth revolving around the sun instead of vice versa?
Yeah, I think so.
That's like something every kid learns in elementary school. Why I'm even asking that? Like,
Yeah. So
that's like entry level like knowledge that I'm just blanking on now that I'm
I'm due
thinking.
though.
Yeah.
As soon as you asked the question, I was like,
Yeah.
yeah. Pretty sure. Um, yeah. So I don't feel like that's an honest question.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty unfair to be like, well, these famous scientists from a time period way before us weren't atheists. Well, it probably had other reasons for that. This one's tough, man.
Oh, and I was also going to add to that. I think a lot of them, if nothing else, were probably agnostic. Just,
Yeah, yeah, I would see that.
I think a lot of probably atheists are just admit
Yeah,
that
I
they
think.
don't really know either way.
Yeah, I think Richard Dawkins has said he's like on a scale from 1 to 7. I'm like a 6. Like that makes sense to me. We're like I'm pretty sure there isn't, but I'm not gonna say for certain there's not a God.
I just think if there is, it would be something that we could not possibly even like there's no way we could possibly comprehend what that would even mean.
Right, exactly.
It most certainly wouldn't be some like humanoid looking figure.
No, and it's definitely not a white guy in the Middle East.
Yeah, yeah, probably not.
My thing is, I don't know how I feel about it yet, but the simulation theory makes more and more sense to me.
Yeah, that is a
It's
weird
like
one.
if it were true that we're in a simulation, that does mean there was a creator.
Mm-hmm.
The religious people are kind of correct, but it doesn't mean it's like some omnipotent being. It's just some guy with a computer. So atheists are kind of correct too.
That means it would be probably like a Japanese guy.
Yeah. Trying to find the answers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then, like, yeah, I've read a lot about that. And then you get into, like, uh, if that if that means that they, like, were created, if they would have the same laws of physics, which would mean that might not even be possible. I don't know. It
Oh
gets,
wow, that's true too.
yeah, it gets so weird. Like, it might not be possible to have that type of computing power. Like, I don't know. That's a fun thing that like maybe once a year I'll just like spend a couple nights in a row reading
Yeah.
about.
I've read a few things. I haven't read that idea though. That's fascinating.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, so let's do. I want to get number 4 to 3 out of the way because it's just so fucking ridiculous. Why do we not see black people come from white people?
Oh boy. Why do we not see that?
Yeah. I know what. Here's what I'm thinking. We've answered 42 questions from this stupid ass list. I'm not going to justify answering this one. Fuck you. Number 44.
Yeah. Normally, you know what? I would make some sort of Nazi joke or something, but I'm not. I'm not even
No.
going to do that. That's clearly.
No, because that's for later on.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Why are fruit flies still fruit flies in the lab experiments if they are claims to prove evolution?
Good God.
Yeah.
Well, because they were different types of flies, and then they evolved into fruit flies. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, this answer would take more than just a couple minutes. But I'm just gonna. If you're listening, if the author of this fucking list is listening, just highlight that question and go search Google. All right. Fucking me, man. Because an experiment doesn't prove evolution, but it showcases exactly. Oh, fuck it. I'm not going to do it. Number 45. Did you know that the Pilltown Man was a hoax used for Darwinist propaganda? I actually meant to do research on this and I didn't. Hold on.
I read that one earlier, and I was at work. I fucking did not have Pilltown Man.
In 1912, the amateur archaeologist Charles Dawson claimed that he had discovered the missing link between ape and man after finding a section of a human skull-like, wow, I don't even know what that word is, Pleistocene gravel beds near Pilltown, East Sussex. Dawson contacted blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I think I read about that before.
Yeah, I'm trying to see how it has anything to do with Darwinism.
No, I think it was just some guy who, because that would happen like all the time back then. Is people would find like, fake Sasquatches, fake monsters, all sorts of shit. Like have traveling exhibits, not let anybody actually research them, because that's the only form of entertainment people had back then. So like they would make money doing that.
Right.
And there's just all sorts of shit. People would find like, fake, I don't know, mummies, discoveries. You could make a pretty fucking good. You'd make pretty good money, like, just like that was like I think a lot of what Barnum and Bailey did too was just have fake shit.
That makes sense.
Yeah, like you'd make pretty good money just hustling like fake exhibits. Because there was the famous fake or the guy who found like frozen Sasquatch or something. If that's what I'm thinking of, I think it was something like that. A guy found like I don't know. Then you have like just like compulsive liar people or something that.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's people who will try and sell fake things. Who knows why they're doing it, but they do.
Right. Yeah. Once again, using something that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
These are your questions. All right, number 46. We're almost done, dude.
All right.
And this is going to be... I think these are the best 3 put together. I'm pretty excited for this. Number 46. This is a stumper. Why do we not see frogs turn into birds?
Oh, I remember this one.
Yeah. Why is that, Mr. Hotshot Atheist?
Well, first of all, smart guy, you do enough hallucinogens, you probably might see that. So that's my answer.
My answer is simply because that's not how it works.
Yeah.
Like that Facebook, what was it, Geico commercial where people are trying to use Facebook, but it's like in their house. They have pictures put on their walls and shit. He's like, that's not how any of this works. That's number 46, you stupid fuck.
Yeah, like, that is...
You had to be a hallucinogen to ask that question, I feel like.
Yeah, that's so funny. That's, like, clearly somebody who... Like, this is somebody who's not even sort of trying to understand the opposing, like, viewpoint.
And especially at this point in the list.
Yeah, like, I just love the idea that he thinks that people who believe in evolution, like, that's what they think happens, is, like,
right.
They're a frog, and then there's a
bird.
Cloud of smoke, and then, yeah, it's a bird, and it flies off.
Whoa, man. That's something Jesus would do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, David Copperfield probably could do that.
Probably.
There you go. Go to Vegas, catch a magic show, and you probably will see that.
Boom. 46 answered. Number 47. This is also a great one. Why is Fox News dishonest if it is a network run by truthful Christians?
Oh, yeah. No
I think we should give everyone a chance to catch their breaths after laughing their asses off.
Yeah.
All right, I think we're good. Yeah. The great Christians on that channel. You mean like Bill O'Reilly? No, hold on, he's not there anymore.
Oh, yeah.
His name Roger Ailes? No, he's not there
anymore.
Oh, yeah. Shit. Yeah, there's some great Christians over there. I love how you just assume that because someone's Christian, that means they're truthful. That's so fucking gullible of you.
Yeah. Yeah, no Christian's ever done anything bad.
Ever.
Jim Jones, he's a good guy. Very Christian. David Koresh, good Christian.
McVeigh.
Yeah, good, handsome, square-jawed Christian young man.
God-fearing.
Yep.
Yeah, good question. I don't have an answer for that one. I think you got me stumped.
Yeah. Rack them up, I say.
Yeah. So, are you ready for this last one?
Yes.
I don't have a drum. Maybe it'll be a good drum roll. Number 48. Why did Hitler fail to make a superior race if evolution is true?
Because white people already existed. They were here all along. You just didn't believe hard enough.
Yeah. And not only did he not believe hard enough, I just don't think he tried hard enough either.
Yeah, exactly.
And give him, we kind of rushed him a little bit.
I think so.
If you ask me. If he would have had more time, maybe he would have been able to prove it.
Mm-hmm.
So, my answer is not enough time, not enough focus.
Yeah, we didn't give him a chance.
Yep. Whew. That is definitely going to be a 2-part episode.
Yeah. That is a lot to hit people with at once.
Yeah, I won't do that to them. I'll definitely split this up into 2 more parts. Damn, man.
Yeah,
what was your favorite question?
It was the last 3 I definitely remembered. There was There's like maybe the 7 before that I kind of didn't remember. The last 3 I remembered for sure. And then which one did I say was my favorite? It was the strip clubs and homosexuality.
Yeah.
Stealing. That was a classic.
Yeah.
And
go ahead.
I just appreciated the wording of most of them.
Yeah, exactly. This was an artistic piece.
Yeah.
I was a big fan of Why Fossils Say No to Evolution. Yeah, I always forget that they do that.
Yeah.
But then if you hold a fossil and you say, do you want to evolve? It'll be like, no. Every time. It's the craziest fucking thing, man.
Yeah. Like when I go to the dinosaur museum, I'm walking along, and I hear just someone talking, like, what the fuck is that? Oh, yeah, it was the fossils. Telling me no again.
Yep. No evolution. Bad.
No. Down evolution.
Bad evolution.
Good evolution. Good. Evolve. He devolved. Evolution just devolved all over the carpet.
Rub his nose in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was goddamn.
That was a real gauntlet.
Yeah, we made it though. We made it.
I like to think that he was gonna do 50 and then killed himself at 48. That's what I like to imagine.
Unfortunately, the comment section afterwards makes it look like he pretty much knew and submitted 48.
Oh.
and then stuck around for at least a couple of years.
Maybe it was one of those things where, like, one of those freak accidents where he shot himself in the head, but the bullet, like, strayed and blew his jaw off.
I think that happened around question 4.
Is that why, like, because he was trying to dictate the rest of them?
Yeah.
Like the dictation software, and that's why it was so oddly worded?
Yeah. Yeah, because he appears in the comment section a couple times.
Oh, I bet he's got some good comments.
100%. He really sticks up for his points. He knows what he's talking about. Clearly.
Or his comments is superbly worded as his questions.
Yeah. And that's going to wrap up another episode of the Church of Atheism podcast. Thank you guys so much for listening. We really do appreciate all the support, all the love, all the tweets. Thank you again to Freethinker. Pause. Freethinker215 again for being a Patreon. Patreon.com/Church of Atheism if you want to help support the podcast. Really do appreciate that. You can go to Amazon.com/shop/Church of Atheism. There's a little shop there, little atheist phone cases, keychains, shirts, books, that kind of shit. And every little order from there, we get a very small commission of it. Just gonna help support the podcast as well. Thank you guys so much again for listening. We will talk to you guys and gals and ladies and men next time.